So the idea is that you're kind of traveling through time, and you know, the space in between the layers is actually it's important to have the space.
Yeah.
That way you're figuratively and literally kind of having this distance, and each sheet represents a distance of time. What I love about what I do is really the instant gratification of being able to create something now. But I like the idea that you can have a thought, you can have a message, you can have this meaning, and in a relatively short amount of time, manifest it. My name is Gonzo247, and I'm a creative person here in the city of Houston. Oh, look, it was right here the whole time. That damn purple. Happens to me all the time, actually.
Where were you born and raised?
So, I'll try to make it a long story short. My parents immigrated here from Mexico. They came here to the United States, and I was born here in the East End of Houston. And pretty much all of my extended family lived in the East End, and I was brought up pretty much East End of downtown. Growing up, I knew that I was artistically inclined. And growing up here in the East End, at the time there really wasn't much public art, and the only reference I had as public art was this mural on Canal Street, on the 5900 block of Canal Street actually. It was started in 1972 by an awesome artist by the name of Leo Tanguma. So Leo started this mural in 1972, and it took him into like halfway through 73, so it took him about a year and a half to finish this painting. Well, all of my life I saw this mural. And as a kid, I instantly knew that the scale of this production really left an impression on me. The content was way over my head. As a kid, I didn't understand the content, but the magnitude of it really, like for me, I felt like I couldn't wait to drive past it. But when I saw it, I just remember thinking, I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how that's even possible. But one day I would love to do something like that. And so between 5, 6, 7, up until about 11 or 12, I kept doodling, kept drawing, kept sketching, but one major thing happened to me. It was mid-'80s, I would say early '80s actually. I started listening to, at the time, this countercurrent underground music. It's called rap. You might have heard of it by now. But if you put yourself in the context of the early '80s, no one had ever heard anything like that, especially here in Houston. When I heard rap for the first time, it really stopped me in my tracks because that was the first time I heard music that I felt was directly for me. And I loved it. So started listening to rap music. Well, rap introduced me to the hip hop culture. Rap isn't just hip hop, and hip hop isn't just rap. It's an entire culture. So rap is one pillar, and there's 4 pillars. So you have rap is the vocal, then you have the physical expression, which is it's called b-boying. Some people call it breakdancing, and then you have the audio, which is the DJ providing the music, the turntablist, and then the overall pillar is the visual language of hip-hop, which is graffiti. I kept seeing this really awesome artwork, or these bright colors in the background of what I was experiencing through hip-hop. And it took a little bit for me to figure out what it was, and that was the graffiti art. Once I kind of connected those dots, one major thing happened to me. Up until that point, every reference that I had that told me this is what an artist is, this is what an artist does, all these references that was shown to me, I could not connect with. When I saw graffiti for the first time, and I saw that there were kids bombing the subway systems in New York, and they were my age, and they looked like me, and they were creating masterpieces on the side of trains, I was like, that's it. That was my ticket. And I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. There was no formal setting for it. There was no formal studio. There was no, expensive canvases, or there was no paintbrushes or acrylics. I didn't even know how to access any of that. Growing up until that point, I didn't even know there was a thing called an art supply store. I didn't know one brush from another. I didn't know what an acrylic was or an oil. I didn't know anything, but I knew what spray paint was. I knew that my dad had some in his garage, and I knew that I could grab that can that cost 99 cents, and I could write on a wall, and I could create instantly. And that was one of the things I really loved about graffiti art, was that the instant gratification of it. You have an idea, you have a can, you have a wall, boom, within seconds, your message is there. And I think that's really what the driving factor is, because you don't have to spend months and months and months in the studio to produce something that you're willing to show, whereas you can go on the side of a building and again, within hours or within a day or so, you can create this masterpiece that everyone can have access to. I think there's beauty in the temporary part of what we do. I think it really helps you to appreciate the now, really appreciate, like, this is a work that's meant for now. And now it could just be minutes, now it could just be seconds, now it could just be, until the next person just rolls right over it. And so it really opened my mind that art it's a global thing. And I really felt like I was a part of a bigger world. And up until then, I was just this kid in the East End, and I didn't have this connection to this bigger world. And art definitely was my vehicle to make those connections. I am who I am today was inspired by music originally, and music led me to graffiti, and that's where I found my passion. So I think I'm fortunate that I'm able to sustain myself and my family through art. This is definitely a privilege to be in this position. Not everyone kind of lasts to get to this point. For me, I think part of the reason I am where I am today was the persistence and the drive and the passion. I've had the passion to do it. I've had the drive to say, okay, you know what? It's not going to be overnight. Sure, overnight success happens for some people, but for the majority of people, you just have to kind of pay your dues and sow your seeds and wait it out. And you have to have that patience, and you have to know, you have to believe in yourself and say, okay, this is going to happen. And you just have to make sure that you're doing what you need to do, and then let that happen on its own. When you follow your passion, you don't mind every last ounce of sweat, every last ounce of energy you have. You don't mind investing that into this because it's something that you're passionate about, and you know that for everything you put in, it's coming straight back to you. Part of why I'm so proud of this city is knowing where it was in the late 70s and into the 80s, and seeing where it's at now and seeing the direction that's going in. I feel that, or I like to think that I'm helping to create the Houston that I want to see. I feel like when you sit back and you complain about what isn't happening in the city, and you're waiting for someone else to make that thing happen, then that's the wrong way to do it. It's more like if you're sitting here and you're like, I wish Houston would be more like this or that, or have this or that, then that's your personal challenge. You got to figure out, okay, how can I make that happen, or what can I do to set that in motion so that this city becomes a city that I really want to be a part of, and it makes you proud. I mean, I've really seen the city grow, and I've really done my best to put my 2 cents in, and I really feel vested in the city. And now, I feel like all the hard work I've put into it, I'm really starting to see that return on the investment. Working with the city, and really working together to create something bigger, better for the rest of the citizens here. When I stopped thinking so much about myself, and I started thinking about the audience, or start thinking about other people, and start thinking about, what is this art piece that I'm creating, and how does that actually engage the viewer? Before, when it was just a Gonzo piece, it was me writing and painting my name so other people could look at my name and look at me and look at what I'm doing. And now it's like, I can't even remember the last time I painted a Gonzo piece, because for me, it's gone beyond just writing my name for you to read. It's gone to what else can I produce that's actually going to connect with the audience? Or what else can I produce that's going to engage the community? Art is important to me because that's what I have. That's who I am, and that's what I can do. This is what I can give. This is what I am able to share freely. It's a way for me to communicate. Sometimes I may not be able to communicate with words as well. Sometimes I might not be able to emotionally connect, but with my art, it's almost like the art can speak for me. The art can say a lot of things that I can maybe not articulate. And so for me, it's really the best way that I can literally show who I am and my true colors, literally. My name is Gonzo247, and I am Houston.